Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has begun in connection to the death of George Floyd. Has the president been briefed on the developments so far? And he condemned the death, certainly when it happened. Does he believe the police officer should be convicted of murder?
Well, the president obviously doesn't weigh into, he's not going to weigh into an ongoing judicial or a legal case. He's watching it closely, as are many members of the administration. As you know, he himself encouraged the House to pass the bill and he is very pleased that it did. And policing reform, in broadly speaking, is an issue that he believes is urgent and one that he is committed to working with leaders in Congress and also taking steps as he can take on his own to address. But he has spoken about. He spoke about the trial and, of course, the death of George Floyd in personal terms, and that is a reflection of how he continues to feel as he watches the events unfold with the trial. It affected him personally. It redoubled his commitment to advancing racial justice. That's why he signed an executive order on racial equity on his sixth day. One of the reasons why he signed an executive order on racial equity on his sixth day in office. And, of course, he will be watching it closely, as many people in the country will be. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jen, a follow-up on some of the vaccine news from yesterday. The president said that one reason he wanted to have another 100 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in the cupboards, as it were, is to be prepared. If everyone is vaccinated by the end of May, or at least able to be, what are you preparing for? What might happen that the U.S. would need an additional 100 million shots for?
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the reason why one of the reasons why we ordered the additional 100 million doses is because we don't yet know what vaccine is most effective with children. That testing is still happening with the FDA as we speak. As you noted, he wants to be over-prepared and oversupplied. We're still looking at the impact of variants. This order of doses can also be used for booster shots, which is something that's also under review by the FDA. So he's just preparing to ensure we are ready for every contingency here in the United States. Of course, we want to be a part of the effort around the world to vaccinate people around the world in a range of countries. That's why we've provided $2 billion to COVAX with another $2 billion committed. We are the largest funder of global health in the world, and we've invested over $150 billion in global health activities since 2000. We've re-engaged on day one with the World Health Organization, and we're continuing to engage. He is personally, and many levels of our administration are engaged personally with their counterparts about addressing this pandemic globally. But his first priority and focus is on ensuring that the American people are vaccinated, and once we are at that point, we will have a discussion about what's next.
My understanding is the president directed this to happen yesterday, but the deal is not with J&J isn't yet in place. When do you expect the deal to be made?
As soon I can get you an update, I can check with our team and see if there's what the final details are, but we certainly anticipate and expect the deal to fully move forward.
Just one other vaccine question related to a story that my colleagues did from Europe. Has the U.S. told the European Union not to expect deliveries of COVID-19 vaccines from AstraZeneca that are made in this country?
Well, I would say first we have conveyed privately what we've conveyed publicly, which is that our focus is on ensuring the American people are vaccinated. And of course, any company can work with any country around the world on the purchase of vaccine supply, and certainly that wouldn't be something the U.S. government would be directly engaged with. But in terms of the supply we have purchased, our first focus, our primary focus is on vaccinating the American people. That's what we've conveyed publicly and privately as well.
Yeah, you said that a lot. But have there been any specific indications or conversations with the EU saying, don't expect this to come from our country, at least until the rest of this population is vaccinated?
We have said publicly exactly what I've conveyed, which is what I'm conveying is we convey the same thing privately.